Hey, what's up guys, it's time for a new tutorial, and today we're going to make some cool text smoke animation. So let's see here what we're going to do. So let's start with a new composition. So we go up here and make a new composition, and we press OK. We can begin to do the smoke here. So go up to a new layer, and we're going to make a solid. And we can call this smoke 1. So, and we're going to add some effects here. We're going to add some fractal noise. Fractal noise, we have it there, and we can drag it over here, like so. And we are going to change some settings here. We're going to crank up the contrast. Let's see, where can we be good? I think around here. 300, and we're going to decrease the brightness. Let's see, where can be, I think around here is nice. We're going to change the complexity to 10, and we are going to make it transform. We can set the scale to 500, like so. And we are going to do some settings here. We're going to make the evolution. We want this to animate, so with the moves. Now we're going to do so that we hold down the Alt key and press on the stopwatch. And down here are we going to type time times 50. I think that's good. Let's see. Like so. Time times 50. So we have this animation of the smoke, like so. We're also going to make the offset. We want to have the smoke to move upwards. So if we make this smaller or less, and we're going to do the same here. We hold down the Alt key and press on the stopwatch. And now I'm just going to paste in an expression so we can save a little bit time here. And with Ctrl V, so do you paste it in. I also add this in the description below. I'm going to explain this. This is the value 1 or value 0. This is the width, like so, value 0. Then comma, value 1, and this is the height. And with this value, that is the height. So do we want to add time times 40? And this makes the smoke animation to move up 40 pixels every second. So let's see here what this looks like. See, as we can see here. So the expression makes now the smoke to move up 40 pixels every second. And we can do so, we can press T for opacity, and we can set this to around, I think around 9. Let's see how that looks. Maybe a little bit more. Let's see, 11. I think around 11 looks good. Yeah, that's fine. And then can we do so? We just mark this layer and press Ctrl D to duplicate it. And here can we change some settings. We can do like so. We can double tap on E so we get our expressions. And we can change this. We can go in here and change this to 50. And we can say change this to, what can we say, 40. So, see, does that look? We're also going to change both the layers mode to screen. So, we can change this to screen too. Let's hear screen, like so. So now do we have both this to screen? Yeah, I think that looks good. So now do we have the smoke here? Maybe we can also do like so. We can go up on this one here. We can evolution. We can set this to random 1, like so. We can also do so. We can make transform. Let's set this to 1000, like so. Perfect. That looks good. What are we going to change more? I think that's good. So we are done with the smoke. Let's see. How does that look? I think that's fine. We can do so. We can unselect those. So can we do the text now? And we take the text tool, and here can we type smoke. Like so. We can do so. We can mark all the layer or mark all the text. We can crank this up to, let's see, 250. I think 250 is nice. And we can also be going to do so that we are going to add this title shape so we can see where the center is. And we mark the smoke and press P. So we get the position. We can drag this over here. We want to have this a little bit side of the center, like so. I think that's fine there. We can, one thing I sometimes do when I feel that the font is not big enough. So I add a stroke so it gets a little bit more thick. So we add a stroke here. We can set this stroke to, let's see, I think 3 is nice here for this font. Like so. So we get a little bit more fat font. Like so. And then we're going to right click and go into layer style. We're going to add bevel emboss. We go down here to bevel emboss. And we can set this size to 3. Now we can set the technique to chisel hard. So we get a more hard edge here. This looks much better with that hard edge. Let's see, we're also going to change this to normal. And we are going to set it up to 100. And we can also set this to normal. And we're going to set this to, like so, 100 there too. I think that's good. Maybe we can, let's see here, can add another. We're going to add a layer style. We're going to add a gradient overlay. And we go into the gradient overlay. Here are we going to set, let's see here, we want to have this one to red. Now we want to have this to black. And we want to have this to be a little bit red. Or totally red. Maybe we want to have this a little bit brighter. Like so. Yes. I think that's fine, but we want to have the bevel. Let's see if we can change the angle a little bit. I think we see here where is the best angle. So we get the edge fine from the downside. I think that's fine. I think there's good. You can always experiment with that so you can get the edge where you want it. But I think that's good for us. Let's see. And now we're going to add another text. We take the text tool again. We're going to call this intro. Like so. We can Control A to mark all the text. We're going to have this a little bit smaller. Let's see, 200. 200 is fine. And then can we mark the layer and press P for the position. We can drag this to this side. So we have them around. So the both text edges is at the same distance from the edge. And we want to have this a little bit further down. Like so. Yeah, I think that's fine. So let's see, we're also going to add some edge here. So we go in, right click and take layer style, bevel emboss. We're going to bevel emboss and we do the same here. The size is going to be 3 and we're going to set this to chisel hard. So we get a hard edge, like so. And now all the text finished like so. And now we're going to set the positions here. We can start a half a second forward. We are going to press this stopwatch. And this is going to be the endpoint. We want to have this endpoint around 2 seconds. Here I'm going to have this text to stop. And the start position for this one, we're going to drag this to this side. We want it to start from that edge, like so. And then can we go down here and press P for the position, and we can do the same here. We press the stopwatch, and we drag this forward to around 2 seconds. And we're going to have the start position over here, like so. And then can we do so that we mark, and we are going to mark those keyframes. And we press F9 for easy ease. And then can we do so? We press this graph editor, and we're going to mark those keyframes. And we're going to, if you can't see this, so just right click, so see that the edit speed graph is selected. So select this, and we drag this as far as it goes, like so. And then can we close the graph editor? We can see how does that look. Yeah, it goes in like so, perfect. That looks fine. It comes in and stops smooth, like so, perfect. And we are going to do so that we are going to collapse those. And now we're done with the text. This looks fine here, like so. And now we're going to mark those text layers. See, we mark those text layers, and we go up to layers. We are going to recompose them. And we can call this text comp. And we move all attributes, like so. And then we want to have this lens effect. This is something that I teached in my earlier video. I'm going to add a link to that so you can see some cool text animations. So then we're going to add some effects here. We're going to add CC lens, like so, and we're going to drag this to this comp, like so. And we are going to do, let's see here, we are going to set the size. We're going to have this at the half a second, where the text starts. We're going to set this to 0, and we set the keyframe here. And we drag this forward to around 2 seconds, like so. And we are going to, let's see here, we're going to set this up to, I think we have to drag this up to around 350. So let's see, how does that look? Perfect, looks fine. Yeah, that's cool. Let's see here, we're going to add the smoke here too. So let's see how that's look. That looks fine. But I think I want to have a little bit softer smoke here. So we're going to add, we're going to add some blur here. We're going to fast box blur. And we can set the blur to 5. So, and I think we're also going to have some tint here. We're going to add tint, like so. We can drag it out over here, and we can set this to a little bit bluish tone, like so. Yeah, I think so. That's going to be fine. I want to have this on both, so we can mark those and press Ctrl C. And we can add this to this other smoke layer too. So we get Ctrl V to add them, like so. In this way, so do we get a more soft smoke, and that looks much more realistic. Like so. We can move out, and then can we disable this so we don't need to see the title safe. So let's see how this animation looks now. Yes, looks fine. But I think we're going to need to add some light here. This can we do by, we're going to go up here and take the ellipse tool. And we're going to set the fill to radial gradient. Like so. And we're going to in here and set the colors. We're going to have this, around here. We want to have this a little bit red. and on this side going to have white, and then we're going to change this opacity. We're going to change this to 0, like so. And then are we going to do so? We see to that every layer is unselected by pressing on the empty side here, and we're going to drag out. See to that you hold down Shift and Control, then do you make a perfect circle, like so. And then can we go up here and take this selection tool, so we can drag this out, like so, perfect. And then can we do so that we drag this up to the corner. Maybe we want to have this a little bit bigger. And if you hold down the Shift key while you're dragging out, so do you make a perfect circle without changing the proportions. And then can we maybe lower this opacity, so we press T for opacity, like so. And then can we do so, we can mark the layer, press D for duplicate. And we can press S for scale. We want to scale this up quite big. Let's see here. Does that look? That looks fine. We want to have a little bit of light coming from the downside, like so. That looks nice. And we can just duplicate this layer once more. So a Control D. We drag this to the side. We want to have this corner here. Yes, maybe we can do so. We press S for scale, and we can scale this up a little bit, like so. Yeah, that looks fine. So now can we see how does this look now? We can go up here and take this view, show layer controls. We disable all layer controls, like so. So let's see how this look. I think the text comes in a little bit too fast, so I want to go in here. We open these layer controls and we mark those layers and press U to see the keyframes. I think we want to do so. We move these keyframes to 3 seconds, like so. We go back. We're going to see how does this look. Yes, that looks much better with that speed. It needs a little bit more time to speed down, like so. And there we had that cinematic and smoke text animation. Hope you like it, even if there was an S too much there. It's always appreciated with a thumbs up. And if you don't want to miss my upcoming videos, don't forget to subscribe. I have some cool glitch animation coming up. And if you want, so can you also support me on Patreon. You have a link in the description below. And if you have any other questions, just type them below. I'm going to do my best to answer them. But for now, it's time for me to move on to the next video, so I'm going to say over and out.